Hi, welcome to another episode of Spyt-Takes. I'm your host, Jens Anderson, aka Spytle.
And I'm co-host Ellen Anderson.
We're here to talk to you tonight about the most recent episodes of Gotham. There was the Fearsome Dr. Crane and the Scarecrow. We're covering these both because they have a continuing story arc that deals with the origins of Batman's arch foe. Well, not really. That's probably a Joker. But one of his rogues gallery, the Scarecrow. Otherwise known as Jonathan Crane, his alias.
And I love Scarecrow.
Scarecrow is very cool. He's actually one of the featured villains you first see in the game that we made, DC Universe Online. If you choose Batman as your mentor and you're a hero, you go on this whole thing in Gotham's East End where you track down the Scarecrow, and Dr. Leslie Tompkins is in it, which is very cool. And I actually built that content.
I know, and I've played it many, many times.
Had some help
probably too many times.
Yeah, probably too many times. That's true. Had some help from Trenton Kennedy. Otherwise, we called him Scrappy.
Right.
And on the exterior stuff. But yeah, I did the boss fight and everything, which was a lot of fun. So I love the character, having actually implemented him in a game. And we're going to talk about all the various story arcs. There are really 3 of them, all right? We're going to cover Bruce and his story arc through both of these episodes. Then we're going to cover Penguin and what's going on with the crime families. And then we're going to get to the big, awesome stuff that's going on with the Crane family, Gordon, and all the things with the fear. The fear theme that's going on. Are you guys scared? Are you scared?
They're not scared.
No, they're not scared at all. They're too dumb to be scared.
They're licky.
This is them getting rid of their nervous fear, their anxiety, by licking. So maybe they are camera shy. Afraid of the camera. Anyway, all right, so let's talk about the Bruce storyline. In the Scarecrow, the storyline's pretty brief. Bruce is really still very crushed by Selina kind of turning her tail around and saying she really didn't see the person. And he gets in touch with Gordon, who comes to Wayne Manor, which apparently is one room and a hall, which is the study where Bruce is and the hall to the front door. Oh, that's not true. We actually did see the upstairs where him and Selina were doing balancing.
They're like in the Jefferson Memorial Wing or something. I don't know. It's a small little room.
Yeah, exactly. So we see them. Basically, Bruce says, "You've really had no luck finding my parents' killer," and he's almost like, "I have no confidence in you anymore."
And it's a pretty cold.
Right?
He is super cold. To Gordon, you're just like, wow. For someone that young
he's just cutthroat.
He's just kind of cutthroat with it, and it lacks emotion on his part, and you're like, wow, that's brutal.
Yeah, and then even Alfred, when Gordon is really I'm trying to help you, after Bruce releases Gordon from his promise, I really want to help. I really believe I can help. And Alfred's just like, when Master Bruce makes up his mind, it's almost impossible to dissuade him. Yep. And can I show you the door? And that was it. Yeah. Right? Boom!
Get out! And Gordon is kind of like, he's just taken aback.
Yeah, really taken aback.
Because he really does care, and he wants to solve this, and he wants to find the murderer, and he's pretty much told, you're useless, butt out. Yeah,
like he feels very much like a failure. Yep. And then Bruce goes on through the next few episodes, or this episode and the next one. He decides he's going to go and honor his father by going on this annual hike that his father and him used to do, where they would hike out into the woods. I couldn't tell if it was on the grounds of their property, but probably. Hikes out there, and they would stay overnight, and they would watch the sunrise together. Very touching. So Alfred offers to go with him, but Bruce says he's going to go on his own. And he's hiking, and he's hiking. And eventually he comes upon this little memorial, or this little kind of area where they've made these piles of rocks. And one of the rocks has TW for Thomas Wayne carved in it. And the other one has BW for Bruce Wayne.
Which I think there's 2 piles.
There's 2 piles, and Thomas's pile is way taller.
Because he's probably been doing that walk
before Bruce
a long time, possibly.
Exactly. Maybe with his dad.
Possibly.
Right. So there's a lot of rocks there. For that, and Bruce's is smaller because he's been doing the walk a lot less. I picked up on that too. That wasn't just that was something Thomas did even before Bruce was alive. Right.
Nice touch there too.
Yeah, good touch having the piles be different. And Bruce has an emotional meltdown. Right.
He's a little bit of a angry tantrum.
Yeah, he like picks up his dad's rock. You think maybe he's gonna pocket it, but he just chucks it away.
Right.
Throws it.
Some stoning.
So yeah, it's like the life of Brian. I'll have a flat one and maybe one of those pointy ones.
Stone, sir?
Nah, they got them up there, lying around on the ground.
Oh, not like these, sir. Look at these. Feel the quality of that. That's craftsmanship, sir.
All right, we'll have 2 with points and a big flat one.
Can I have a flat one, Mum? Shh. Sorry, Dad.
Yeah, all right, 2 points, 2 flats and a packet of gravel.
Packet of gravel. Should be a good one this afternoon.
Eh?
Local boy.
Oh, good.
Enjoy yourselves.
Who here's a woman? Oh, no. So anyway, he has a stoning moment where he's throwing stuff around, and then he sort of walks on and
falls on
Yeah.
as he tumbles down this hill for a very long time. He's tumbling, and he's tumbling, and he gets to the bottom, and of course, you're expecting the moment where he's like, ah!
Yeah.
And at first, I thought he broke his ankle.
That's what it looked like to me at first,
Right.
but apparently later we find out it's kind of a bad sprain.
Yeah.
But I don't know about you, but I expected that was going to be the moment that Bruce, when he's young, sees the bats, and that's his big bat moment.
Right.
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna use some harsh language. It didn't fucking happen. Why did it not fucking happen?
I know, they had everyone. I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, "Oh my god, we're gonna see bats! This is gonna happen."
This is the bat moment.
And instead, he's crawling around. I have no legs. Just like he's just dragging himself.
I have no legs.
I can see! I have legs! Oh, shit, look at this! Man, I can walk! Jesus! Praise Jesus!
Back up the hill,
Good
no
Lord.
bats. A little disappointing there, but then I was thinking maybe he's already had the bat moment prior to. Maybe they'll do a
No.
flashback, or maybe that's yet to come.
It's yet to come, but that was the
So-
moment to do it. I don't know. I guess they're going to have to find other means to get Bruce isolated somewhere where he can get scared by bats, but whatever. So he splints his leg up and climbs up the hill, and there's Alfred at the campsite, sort of like...
Roasting weenies,
whatever.
s'mores.
Yeah.
He's like, it's relatively really comfortable. He's got the fire going, and I'm like thinking to myself, oh, dude, that guy's been up there for a while.
Yeah, Bruce is like, how long you been up here? He's like, for long enough to see you be down there with your thing and your splint and your blah. And Bruce is like, what the fuck?
What the fuck? I had no legs. I had to climb up. So yeah, kind of a funny moment.
Yeah, Alfred is not coddling him.
No, not at all.
And so, Bruce is like, I just want to go home, and kind of Alfred's like, well, we should stay here, and I've slept in much worse places than this, and they stay the night together out in the open air under the stars, and then Alfred's been up the whole time, and he wakes up Bruce, and they watch the sunrise together.
Yeah.
A very touching moment.
So Alfred's got a lot of skills.
Yeah.
He's got fighting skills.
Bow skills.
Yes. Bow skills. Camping skills.
Nunchuck
so I wonder
skills.
what
Nunchuck skills, bow hunting skills, computer hacking skills. Girls only want boyfriends who have great skills.
he's done in his past.
He was in the military.
He's like a CIA butler or something.
No, he's a paramilitary butler for sure. Yeah, it's interesting watching them because they have the sort of surrogate father and son dynamic that pops up once in a while, but it's always underneath or subservient to this sort of master servant, kind of dynamic with
Right.
the Lord, and the butler.
But I like
it.
I like what they're doing with it on the show.
Yeah,
for
good
sure.
stuff. So interesting storyline there. Nice moments. Always love watching Mr. Pertwee do his thing. Got a great take on Alfred. And you know what? The boy who plays, I don't know his name, boy who plays Bruce is quite competent and believable, and I like it. I think next week we're going to see him actually get over to Wayne Industries or Wayne Enterprises and actually start sitting on the board and stuff. And boy, that cold moment, that cutthroat moment where he took Gordon out at the knees really makes you, is really setting up the fact that he might actually be able to be this young boy sitting on this board and sort of directing his company. Like he's kind of got that I'm prepared. I can click into just here's how it's going to be done mode.
We're gonna reorganize and layoffs are gonna happen.
Oh, too soon. Too soon. Too soon.
I know. It's okay.
Yeah.
I got a good attitude about
I know you do. All right, now let's talk about the next thing, which is Penguin's storyline. So Penguin throughout all this is he's done some things that have given Mooney pause, reasons to not trust him.
Yeah.
Right? And like when the electrocutioner was around, he got jolted. And he sat up and he was talking about getting over to Falcone's, and he explained it away, but Fish Mooney actually calls Mooney when Mooney and Penguin are having lunch together and tips Mooney off to the fact that Penguin is Falcone's snitch.
Right.
And he's been playing him this whole time.
Which is an moment.
Meanwhile, she's on a boat escaping Gotham.
Right.
Like, paid to be in this plush cabin with this boat going away, which gets hit by like Somali pirates off the coast of Gotham. I don't know. She gets taken to this crazy prison camp somewhere where it's totally like Lord of the Flies in a cave.
It's like Pirates of the Caribbean, Lord of the Flies.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It's like the Bloodhaven Pirates came out or something.
I didn't know the Caribbean was so close.
I know, right?
The shores of Gotham.
It was so weird. Anyway, she's in this dungeon kind of prison place with the captors, and it's like this one dude, rules the place because he's got the only knife, and she cozies up to him eventually and steals the knife and stabs him in the neck.
Right.
And now she's got the blade, and she's like, I'm taking over.
She's got the conch.
Yeah, she's got the what? The conch? Oh, is that Lord of the Flies? The conch.
Who's
Gotcha.
Piggy? He was Piggy.
Piggy.
No, there is no Piggy there, except maybe there is a guy that's who bonded with her in the very beginning.
Yeah. That would be her little lackey now. That's her new Butch.
Yeah.
Butch 2.0.
So she's taken over there, and I have the feeling she's gonna get some shit organized.
Right.
And you gotta watch out. She's tough. She's
she is
scrappy,
tough. And she's got claw-like nails. We'll see if she uses those.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, back in Gotham, Mooney's on to Penguin now and decides they're gonna go to upstate New York because he got to meet with a guy about a thing. Okay. Yeah. And Penguin keeps asking. They're up in this cabin now.
You gotta meet a guy about a thing because we're gonna go have some oatmeal and some coffee.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk. So they're having oatmeal, and now basically there is no guy and there is no thing. And Mooney makes this big deal of like loading a gun and popping it into this bag. Then he goes out and gets some firewood after he's gotten Penguin nice and stirred up, gives him the opportunity to steal the gun, which Penguin does. And by the way, I saw this set up a mile away.
The hotel pool is usually filled with water. Sometimes you have to check, but pretty much always.
Right.
So I'm surprised that Oswald hasn't.
Oh, he knew, but what was he going to do? He had to go along with it, and he's smart, so he would figure, him, he'll always figure out a way. But yeah, they start doing this weird, like, truth or dare thing.
Right.
Kind of like, I tell you that, what does he do exactly? Their version. It's
he
like
says
a mobster version
we're gonna
of
have a game of honesty or whatever,
right.
and we're just all you can have to tell a secret. We're gonna tell secrets to each other,
right? And
then so they start telling secrets, and Mooney's pressing him about like I kind of know what's going on, and Penguin's like I don't like oatmeal, funny stuff like that. Obviously, eventually Penguin gets coffee. Up. I don't like coffee, and he gets up. And he has this gun, and Mooney's totally calm because obviously it's not loaded or it's full of blanks or whatever. Yeah, and
Mooney totally set that gun up.
He even tells him it's full of blanks, and Penguin's like, "I don't believe you." Bang, bang, bang! It's full of blanks. Mooney beats him up, and then he takes him to this junkyard where he's gonna crush him in a car, make a little Penguin pancake.
And I wasn't sure if Penguin was gonna shoot him when he said it was filled with blanks because he's pretty smart. I would have done a one last loyalty thing, and I would have been like,
try to,
you know what? I believe you.
Yeah.
Knowing that it's filled with blanks.
Yeah.
I believe you.
Right, a trust thing.
A trust thing, right?
But I think it was too. I think it was too. I think Mooney had already decided he was going to kill him.
Right.
Right. So, and that's true throughout that whole storyline because. Once that happens, Mooney takes him to an auto wrecking place, and he pays off the guy to crush Penguin in a car. And Penguin's really desperate. He's very smart, but he uses his cell phone. And he sees the number of the junkyard place he's at, and he calls the guy who's in the crusher.
Yeah, and the pressure is on.
Like,
he really has to do this very quick thinking.
It is by will alone I set my mind in motion. It is by the juice of safu that thoughts acquire speed. The lips acquire stains. Stains become a warning. It is by will alone I set my mind in motion.
totally like.
And I know he's not going to get crushed. I figure his leg's not going to get crushed because it's already screwed up.
We do the other leg, and that's how instead of the one-legged penguin, now we've got the two-legged penguin.
It's like the emperor penguin.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So he manages to threaten this guy that Falcone will skin his family alive, and the guy runs away. Maroni chases the guy who owns the junkyard, and Penguin escapes. He freaking escapes, makes his way back to Gotham.
Penguins are slippery.
Yeah, he tells Falcone. Maroni's after me. You gotta help me. And Falcone's not worried about it. He's like, open the club. This club makes business. It's your club now. You run it. Do whatever you want. Redecorate, whatever.
Yeah. So
Penguin's psyched. He feels like, okay, Falcone's going to take care of Maroni. And he does, but he's wheeling and dealing it. He's like respectful. You know, it's like these two mob bosses.
Yeah.
They feel like they could go to each other's homes, that there's no war going on right now.
And they're both very different. Like Maroni is kind of this tough, no bullshit, he's got a lack of sophistication, where Falcone is more of the sophisticated.
Right. Yeah, he's like the Biff. Maroni's like the Biff Tanner. Why don't you make like a tree and blow? Right. You know, he's always got the. Right. I think he even says something like that. It was like, possession is.
And Falcone is more like a Wall Street banker.
Yeah, he is.
He's sophisticated and slimy.
Right. And so he buys off Maroni by like framing this judge that gives Maroni problems, and tells him that Penguin's off limits. Meanwhile, Penguin is redoing the club. And I mean, if you were going to redo the club right now on the show, I mean, what would you expect it to be? Penguin's Club.
Oh, the name.
The name.
Iceberg Lounge.
Right?
That's what I was thinking.
He called it Oswald's. I'm going to use some harsh language again. What the fuck was up with that? Why Oswald's? Why is it not the Iceberg Lounge? I don't get it.
Could have been worse. Could have been Cobblepots.
Yeah. Oh, God, I suppose so. I did like the umbrella neon sign. That was pretty cool. Yeah, but Oswald. He redoes this club, and his grand opening is an absolute disaster.
And the club looks good inside.
But he's playing like really punky music, and he has some kind of headbanger mohawk guy there. It's just not classy like Fish's was.
He needed the bar overhaul guy. What's that guy's name? Tapper.
The bar rescue? John Tapper.
John Tapper.
Have that guy come in and start
Oswald.
yelling at him.
Cobblepot, you need John Tapper.
Running a bar is not just a business, it's a science. No one knows more about bar science than John Tapper.
I don't embrace excuses. I embrace solutions.
Yeah, get some John Tapper. He'll scare you into making that a cool bar. But basically, Maroni's bought off. He comes to visit Penguin on his opening night, which is an absolute disaster of an opening night. And he's basically like, you better hope Falcone, lives a long life, because the second he's gone, you're dead, and walks out. So Penguin taking down a few notches politically amongst the crime families, but he does have his, son a seat of power, which is
he has club. His value because he's very, very smart.
Yeah, absolutely, very clever.
Good at getting things done too.
That's what Falcone says. I like having someone clever around.
Right.
So, very cool with that storyline. Now let's get to the main storyline. What all these episodes were about, which was the fearsome Dr. Crane and the Scarecrow. Mm-hmm. So the whole thing kind of opens up with this killing where this guy who is played by what's the guy's name again? I'm forgetting right now.
Julian Sands.
He basically sets a guy up on a roof with a noose around his neck, with a wire tied or a rope tied to a chair, and he leans the guy over this edge of this tall skyscraper, starts checking his heart rate. When he's satisfied the heart rate's going fast enough, he cuts the rope holding the chair, and the guy goes down and gets completely absolute terror as he's falling, and then gets hung. His neck breaks. Right?
And it's pretty gruesome. Actually,
hauls the guy back up.
Weird serial killer Hannibal Lecter style,
like
right
Saw
there.
kind of stuff, right? Yeah, very strange.
No, not Saw, but
because there's an elaborate trap kind of thing going on. Does Hannibal Lecter do that?
Yes, in one of the other movies, which I don't think you've seen, with Julian
the Dragon
Moore,
something or whatever,
where Hannibal Lecter takes this guy at the top of I don't know, they're in Italy. It's not a church. I don't know what it is, and he hangs this guy. And he makes a cut across his belly. So this is going to be gruesome. So when he hangs the guy and the force of the pressure causes the disembowelment to go everywhere.
Gross.
So it totally reminded me of that. So that seemed kind of
Yeah, that's kind of gross. So he hauls the guy back up and he harvests something out of his body, which Nigma finds out, right? Nigma is like, hey, I found that there was a hole in the body. Apparently forensics and Bullock and everybody missed it. So there was a hole in the side of this guy's body.
This giant hole that everyone just is like, I don't see
I never pulled back the breast of the jacket to see that.
I never looked at the body.
And
that I examined.
Yeah. So he's like worried that the medical examiner isn't gonna do a good job, and he wants in there. But the captain says, "No, you can't. You got to stop. Dealing with the bodies." He goes in anyway. The medical examiner and the captain bust him as he's he's like got his fist in the freaking.
This is bad.
Oh yeah. And she's like, "You're suspended." And she walks out, and he's like, "But I found something." He's all sad.
I felt bad, really badly for him.
And he doesn't want to be suspended, so he eventually he does something really morbid. He takes all these body parts and he stuffs them in the locker of the medical examiner.
Which is pretty funny.
Yeah, and the guy basically gets framed for stealing body parts and selling body parts. And
yeah, you'll never open the locker the same way again.
Yeah, which now the medical examiner gets fired.
Yes, because he's corrupt and a jerk and inept at his job.
And Nigma is back in the fold. But meanwhile, there's this whole thing going on with this killer. And Bullock Bullock finds a number in the victim's pocket, and he calls this number, and it's this woman. She comes down and she finds out that the friend of hers that was killed was killed, and how he was killed was found hanging from a skyscraper. And she's like, "That's odd. He has a phobia of heights." And she talks about how the fact that she is this counselor in this group for people that have phobias. And
it's a fear group.
Bullock is totally hitting on her the whole time. He's like absolutely like digs this chick, and so he ends up going to the fear group. So actually, there was another killing before that where he like stalks the guy on coming out of his house, and he's holding like a little pig.
Oh, and it's the cutest little pig ever.
It's
right?
like it's not pink like Babe. It actually looks kind of like them. I like thought of Bunsen and Penny because it was like black and white, I think. You're a little pig. You sound like a pig with your snorting.
So it's this cute little pig, and the guy's like, ah!
He freaks out, and Gerald Crane's, Scarecrow's father, his henchman, actually abducts this guy, and they go to this warehouse where they have these 3 pigs surrounding this guy, and the henchman, this big tough dude, has this pig mask on and a cleaver, and
very Saw-like.
Very Saw-like with the big mask. And there's actually a character like that, which I've mentioned before on Spyt-Takes from the comics that Frank Quitely and I think Grant Morrison created. But very cool.
Pigman?
A pigman guy. Yeah, he's really neat. And they've had like a pigman dude on with a pig mask several times. They like that theme. Anyway, this guy is terrified. He has his adrenal gland. He's terrified of pigs, so he gets killed. His adrenal gland gets harvested. And then meanwhile, Bullock, this guy is also part of the fear group, the fear counseling group that this woman was part of. So Bullock goes to infiltrate that. And of course, Gerald Crane is there. And he tries to tell his story about what he's afraid of. But he breaks down and he can't do it. And the ginger kitten that Bullock is interested in. What was her name? What did you call her before?
Oh, I called her Ginger Kitten.
The Ginger Kitten, something Ginger Kitten.
So anyway, I couldn't remember her name.
Yeah,
I'm awful.
She's the Ginger Kitten.
That's my thing. I give people nicknames.
Tommy.
Hey, Richard. I'm just making some copies.
The Tomster. Tom Man. Tom.
So that he goes and she follows, and then she never comes back. So Bullock goes to investigate, and she's abducted. They learn that her phobia was fear of pools, which would suck. I can't imagine not being able to go into a pool because I'm afraid of the ocean. See, I'm the opposite.
You don't like sharks. That's
it's
your
sharks.
fear.
Oh God. Ugh. I always have to have like everyone I'm with has to be around me. I'm in the middle, and my feet are tucked up underneath me so that a shark can't get in my feet.
So basically, you're a big chicken, and everybody else is the meat shield.
And sharks love chickens. They go for the chickens first. So they track down what pool she actually had the accident in when she was a kid and her near drowning, and they go there, and sure enough, there's Gerald Crane. And we see Jonathan for the first time too. He comes in and interrupts his father, and it's like, "I need to feed the meter. How long are you gonna be?" And it's not clear whether or not he knew that he was helping his dad commit murders, but he does walk away. Like Julian Sands, his character, Gerald Crane, like does intimidate his kid to just go feed the meter. I'll be done here soon.
Yeah,
with this tied up woman.
And Jonathan seems like a pretty normal kid,
except for the fact that he left his dad with a tied up woman about to be dumped in a pool. So yes,
yeah, but
normal kid,
it upset Jonathan.
It did.
So
not enough to stop
Jonathan
his dad.
was upset by that.
He definitely has his dad's in control of him. So they burst in. Gordon and Bullock and end up tracking them down, finding Gerald Crane. And they burst in on him. There's a gunfight. He escapes. Bullock saves the ginger kitten, pulls her out of the pool. And you'd think that would be the start of some kind of relationship because he was really had a crush on her and was hitting on her and all that kind of stuff. But
right.
We really don't see her again in the next episode. She's just saved and goes away. Maybe she'll come up later in the season. I don't know. But Crane gets away. Eventually, he continues to harvest, I believe, and he goes to his old family estate, which is run down or maybe even burnt out. I can't quite recall. I think it might have been burnt out.
Crane Acres.
Crane Acres.
I don't know.
He starts to harvest the chemical that he wants out of the adrenal glands, which is a nasty process. He's like squashing them in some kind of potato ricer, and ew, it's so gross.
It's like worst mashed potatoes ever. Because that's kind of what it looks like.
He doesn't even have like a centrifuge to like separate stuff out. He's just more like kind of like, I'm gonna mash it up and then like kind of stuff the liquid out. It's really disgusting. And so he creates this concoction of this raw chemical and starts injecting himself with it in cycles. And he has visions.
Because that's safe.
Yeah, I'll just experiment on myself. Well, we learn that his wife, we see this woman on fire and the whole house that he's in on fire, and we learn that his wife died in a fire because he was too afraid of the fire to actually go upstairs and rescue her.
I said, oh, Lord Jesus, it's a fire. Then I ran out. I didn't grab no shoes or nothing, Jesus. I ran for my life.
Just kind of sad, but it's led him to this insane endeavor to cure the world of fear because of an issue he had that caused tragedy for him.
So yeah, he's insane.
He's insane. So he does this whole cycle, and eventually he actually is able to overcome the fear, and it doesn't affect him anymore. He is fearless now. And so he starts giving his son an injection and starting him on a cycle, which is weird because Jonathan Crane doesn't have the same kind of issues that his dad does.
No.
I'm sailing! I'm sailing! I'm sailing! I'm sailing!
Like you said, he is kind of a normal kid in that way.
Yeah.
So he starts experiencing fear. But meanwhile, Gordon and Bullock track them down, burst into the house, and his dad's like, we gotta finish the cycle with you. It'd be damaging if we don't. Runs outside with his son, takes this massive syringe of stuff and just like, injects his kid with it. Damn! Full-on dose of fear.
Because that's what I do when the cops, bang the doors down. I take all my paraphernalia and I inject it into you.
Oh yeah! That explains a lot. What do you got? Stashes of heroin around here I don't know about?
Adrenal glands.
Adrenal gland stashes.
Hey, remember those mashed potatoes we had with steak the other night?
Yes. Ew, that was leftover adrenal matter. Gross. Anyway, so he injects his son with this, and he's right under this creepy scarecrow in their backyard of their old estate, and the scarecrow animates, really cool effect. And the problem is that he cured Dr. Crane then, Gerald Crane, the father. The scream of his son draws Bullock and Gordon to their area, and they, point their guns at him, and they're like, hands on your head, get down on the ground, whatever they're saying, typical cop shit. And he's like, I'm not afraid of your guns. Okay, it was just cure to fear. Well, the problem with that is that fear actually is what tells you that you should be afraid, that something bad is going to happen if you don't do something, that the consequences are dire. You should step away from the ledge.
Better to control your fear than not have it at all.
Because it tells you something, right? And so he's like, I'm not afraid of your guns. Well, you should be, because as you walk forward shooting at them while they're taking cover behind a tree because they're scared of your guns, they just shot the shit out of you and you're dead. So they kill him. And rescue Jonathan. Take him to a hospital, and he's strapped to a gurney, and the doctor basically says, this poor kid is at a heightened state of terror, like abject terror. constantly, and it'll probably never go away because his brain chemistry has been messed with.
So he's stuck in like a virtual hell.
Exactly.
Right?
And so we see that hell from his point of view too, which is awesome. It's all these creepy scarecrows like crawling up around him, trying to get at him and everything like that. So he's just absolutely terrified of the scarecrows, which is interesting because he is the Scarecrow and will instill fear. So we saw the genesis of that very cool nemesis for Batman. We saw the reasoning for how he has his fear gas. It's clearly going to be based on his father's work and the chemicals that are in his own body right now.
And why he's crazy.
Rightfully
so.
Yes, exactly. So awesome episode. I give it total high five.
It was good.
Contraband injection straight to the neck. 10 cc's. Is that how we rate from now on? 10 cc's of fear serum. It's a 10 out of 10. No?
2 syringes up.
2 syringes up. Why in my nipples?
Well,
why did I have to get the injection in my nipples?
And I went up and into the armpits.
Damn, my chesticles are sore just thinking about it.
Or I could do like one under the chin, one through the head.
Damn. All right, we need to end this episode before I'm skewered with hypodermics and I can never recover. Thank you for watching this episode of Spyt-Takes. These 2 episodes of Gotham were awesome, dealing with a terrific villain from the Batman mythos, and I look forward to next week's episode.
Me too.
All right, take care.
Later.